Hello and welcome to the Daily Millwall for Friday, the 23rd of February 2024. In today's Millwall news, it's jam packed with stuff, a lot of stuff to get through. We're going to do it upside down today. I'm going to talk about the youth at the start, then we're going to move on to the interviews that got put up today from Harris, Zion, Flemming, and George Saville, and then we're going to finish by previewing the Southampton game tomorrow, including the police seem to have lost their marbles, or maybe they need some more funding, so they're looking to try and garner some more football banning orders. I don't know. They need that budget increase, so watch out for that. Is this the new Horizon scandal? Football banning orders? I don't know. Maybe in 20 years you'll get an apology and a pat on the back. So moving on to the first story, which is this. So the under 18s, if you didn't see it, it was broadcast live on Millwall TV and Chelsea TV and the FA Player. Millwall put it on their on Millwall TV as a watch back. You can watch it back, and it's for free. It was free when it was live, and it's free now if you want to watch it. If you missed it and you want to watch it now. So a full match replay of Millwall under 18s FA Youth Cup quarter-final win over Chelsea is now available. The Lions defeated the Blues 4-2 on penalties following a 1-1 draw after extra time, with the fixtures now available to watch in its entirety for free in the UK. But again, just in the UK. I don't know what's the deal with not having international rights. I don't know what that's about. They've also got this fly on the wall thing as well, but we're not going to look at that. We're going to move on to this because the draw was today. I told you in yesterday's video it gets made on Fridays. I wasn't sure if it was this Friday or next Friday. Well, it's this Friday. And this is who we've got. We've got either Liverpool or Leeds United. So there you go. And it's going to be away. This is the bad thing. We've been drawn away twice. What do I mean by that? Well, I told you that not only will they do the draw for the semi-finals, but because they've changed the format, the final used to be over 2 legs. They've changed it to a single match, and that's been going for like 5 seasons now. We'll look at that in a minute. So what they do is they draw who's going to be home and away in the final. And we are going to be away if we get there, but I mean this is going to be a tough one here. So yeah, this is from millwallfc.co.uk. Millwall's under 18s handed away FA Youth Cup semi-final draw. Millwall's under 18s will travel to either Leeds United or Liverpool in the FA Youth Cup semi-finals. The Lions took their place in the final four of a quarter-final victory over Chelsea on Wednesday night at the Den, and will now head to either Elland Road or Anfield for a place in the final. The tie must be played by Saturday the 6th of April, with full details to be confirmed as soon as possible. The Lions' opponents will be determined when the two sides meet on Thursday the 29th of February. So, yeah, by this time next week, we will know where we will go. Are we going to Elland Road? I'm sure many of you have been there. Or are we going to Anfield, which very few, I'm probably certain, have been to. Haven't we? I think we've only ever played twice at Anfield, haven't we? And that is literally in the 2 seasons that we were at the top, 88, 89 and 89, 90. I think we've played Liverpool very, very few times. We've played them at home in that League Cup game, which when Benitez was manager. So yeah, and then it says here, should Millwall reach the final, don't count your chickens, they will be the nominated away side and will play either Man City, Tottenham, Bristol City or Swindon. So there you go. We are going to be away, and if we win that, we're going to be away again. And then basically the same thing. This is from the FA.com. The pathway to the FA Youth Cup final is now confirmed following the semi-final draw. So there you go. And one thing I wanted to notice, so I was looking at the rules the other day. I mentioned that in the video the other day about this. You can see the rules; they let you download it. Because obviously there is no transfer window for youth teams. There's no transfer window. So we can sign players to play in these games. There obviously some kind of cut off, but for the final, to stop, I guess, to stop teams just bringing in a load of ringers or boosting their sides by snapping up players from released teams. There is a cut-off of this date that's set for the semi-final. So it's not when the semi-final is actually played. So it's Saturday, the 6th of April. So we can, if we do get to the final, we can still sign players by Saturday, the 6th of April. So if we play the game before then, and we get through, we have until that's probably Friday, the 5th of April, that we can go to players who we're thinking of signing, maybe players that have been released from Premier League teams, and say, look, if you come to us and you sign for us by the Friday, the 5th of April, you're going to be playing in FA Youth Cup game. You could be in that squad. So that is something that could be happening. Now, like I said, just another little thing about youth, or another two things. This one, this is this FA Youth Cup from Wikipedia.org, and I just wanted to show you this because so obviously it was a two-legged format all the way through from when it started in 1952, going all the way to most recently 2017 to 18. It was two-legged format. That's why the scores seem crazy. 7-1. That's aggregate scoreline. The most recent winners, West Ham, they won it 5-1. That single match format. So it's been like that for 5 years. The final was two-legged. They changed it to 5 seasons. They've been doing a one-legged final. I just want to show you this winners table, and as we go down. So at the top, you've got Man United, 11 wins, 4 runners-up. Chelsea, 9-4. Arsenal, 7-3. West Ham, Liverpool, Aston Villa, Man City, Everton, Tottenham. And then, so those are all like big Premier League teams, except for like West Ham United, who've been up and down from the Premier League to the Championship quite a few times recently. And then, so after Tottenham, you get to Ipswich Town. 3 times they've won it. Crystal Palace 2-2. Sunderland 2-1. And look who we got here. We got Millwall 2-1. So little old Millwall. You think all of these big names, these big clubs that have big budgets, even up till this day, with gates and attendances that are a lot higher than ours, except maybe for the exception of Ipswich, but that's more than us, but not by far. And there we are, 2 wins and one finalist. Won it in 1979, won it in 1991, and won it in 1994. So this is big stuff. This is little old Millwall doing the cup thing again. And like I said, there's a lot to go through before we get there. We've got a semi-final against tough opponents. But if we get to that final, we're going to have more. There's going to be another number on this list. It's going to be Millwall 2-2, and that's going to put us on level with Crystal Palace. It's going to jump us above Sunderland. And then, God forbid, if we do, oh my God, if we do get to the final, and then, oh my God, if we do win it, then we'll be on 3-1, and we'll jump up above the best of the rest. You know, all these big Premier League names, except for West Ham, Man United, Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool, Aston Villa, big teams, and then after them in that list, if we win it, it'll be Millwall, 3 wins, 1 runner-up. Fantastic stuff, absolutely fantastic stuff. And obviously, a lot of people saying like, well, how many of these are going to play in the first team? Does it matter? I think the thing in itself is the achievement, is the prize. They're representing Millwall at their age group, and that's enough for me. I wouldn't care if any of them made the first team. This is top stuff. This is a very hard thing to do to win this competition. You go back up and look at all the money that's been spent. Look how many times Chelsea won it. Man City. It's like the first. It's like the normal FA Cup. It's very hard for other teams to get in there. It's either Chelsea, Arsenal, Man City, or Liverpool. It's very hard for any other team to get in there. So there you go. Yeah, I just wanted to show you that. And now we've got one more youth thing, and then we're going to move on. This popped up today from Margate Football Club, sponsored by the Libertines. Can't stand me now. Bowman invited to Millwall trial. So for the under-21 game the other day, who were they playing? Bristol City away. It was a 1-1 draw. They were 1-0 ahead, and penalty came back. So we can confirm that academy player Vinny Bowman has spent this week on trial with Championship side Millwall. So there was a trialist on the bench for that game, and he didn't get on, but I think this must have been him then. 16, so he's only 16. 16-year-old Bowman joined the academy last season. He combines his football development while continuing his A-levels at Herne Bay High School. Is this the new Alfie Pavey? The striker earned himself regular opportunities in the first team, including a debut goal in the Blues Velocity Trophy, defeat at Wycott, as well as a first Isthmian Premier Division goal away at Lewis. Bowman has also netted 9 goals in 14 games for the Gates Academy side. So 16, he's 16, like maybe 17 this year or 17 soon. He's already playing the men's football and he's scoring. So is it a case of, is he actually that good? Is he just an early developer? I don't know. Bowman has featured for both the under-18s and under-23s this season, helping them to fight for the title. His trial means he'll be unavailable for the Gates trip to Arengay on Saturday afternoon. So that's the men's team. We wish Vinny well for the experience and look forward to welcoming him back to Hartsdown Park next week. So there you go. What is that? What is that? So interesting stuff. All of you people laughing and mocking Aldo, saying all he does is look on Championship Manager. No, he went to Margate and he found a 16-year-old. So there you go. And now we move along. Oh yeah, we got pictures from Mill's first Neil Harris's first Mill training session. Clearly taken on Thursday because it's absolutely pissing it down. Yeah, it was from Thursday. Published today though. So take a look at gallery of images below as the Lions prepare for Saturday's Sky Bet Championship trip to Southampton. So there he is, Neil Harris giving the old double fingers, the old double flipping the bird. Baldy Barrett. No, that's Baldy Livermore. Livermore's lost his hair. He is balding now. He's shaving his head. Time waits for no man. There he is there. The master tactician, David Livermore. Hey, what are you laughing at? Here we go. Serious. Fucking serious. Look. It's very serious. This is serious stuff. There he is there. Very Churchillian with hands behind his back. Doesn't have an umbrella or a hat. Why would he? Why would he? And like I said, there's Baldy Livermore. So we've got 2 Baldies now. So you're going to have to have a good old look and see which Baldy you're shouting at and you're moaning at in the dugout, because there's 2 of them. There's a goal. Do you know who that is? Bet you don't. That's Connell Truman. The famous Connell Truman, the goalkeeper that no one's seen play. Nana Boateng there. Getting his hips squeezed by Joe Bryan. Who is that? That is that an under-21 player in the middle? Number 45? Is that Henry Hearn? And no, it's hard to tell from that angle. And then Wes Harding and Alan Campbell. Yeah, I think that is Henry Hearn. So he's got squad number 49. Nice. What more there? Romain Esse. George Saville and Denor. Oh, look at that. There you go. That's Jake Cooper. And I think Ryan Longman. There's Imaku there. Tanganga. Alan Campbell, the pastiest player in the squad. BNC, Brook Norton Cuffy and Honeyman, George Saville, the Long Man, Obafemi, Ryan Leonard, Sarkic, Harding, Flemming, and we're back to the beginning. So there you go, pictures from training. Pissing down with rain. Get on with it. Get on with it. So there you go. Now moving on to the interviews. This is from the southwarknews.co.uk. Lions boss happy to adapt style of play ahead of Saints encounter. Millwall head coach Neil Harris says he isn't concerned by his side's relative lack of height up front going into tomorrow's game at Southampton. Harris's previous front lines during his initial spell as boss always included a big presence with Aidan O'Brien, Steve Morrison, Lee Gregory, John Bodvarsson, Tom Elliott and Matt Smith all measuring 6 foot plus. Aidan O'Brien was 6 foot. Really? Lee Gregory as well? Really? I think maybe they were like 5'11" and a half. But the returning gaffer inherits a squad with just one attacker in the shape of Zion Flemming, 6'1", able to make the same claim, something he is more than willing to adapt to as Millwall target championship survival starting on the south coast on Saturday. Harris said, "We've got to find different ways to play. I've done that over the years and certainly done it in the last few years. We have to find a different way. There's all different ways of winning games of football. I think it's clear to say, and I don't think this will come as a surprise to anybody, that we're not going to have a lot of the football on Saturday. Southampton like to dominate the ball, so we have to be really good defensively and have a really good shape about us." He added, "We have to be really clinical when we get our chances with the ball, and we have to be really careful with the football. We have to progress up the pitch in our own way, but we've got some good players that can handle the ball, and we've got some exciting players that can dribble the ball, and we've got some good scorers in the squad. We have to find different ways of scoring goals." It's been quite a week in SC16 with Joe Edwards relieved of his position on Wednesday morning after a run of 7 defeats from the last 8 games, handing Harris a chance to make an emotional return after leaving in 2019. The current boss is remaining tight-lipped about what he will be doing first to stop the current slump, but hinted there may be a different Millwall on display at St Mary's. Harris said, "Here, listen, I'm not going to go into tactics or personnel at the moment, but I've got my opinion on what needs to change, and everyone will have to wait until Saturday to see what that might look like. I think the biggest thing is that something needed to change in the board's eyes at the end of February. You can't change a group of players, and I'm not saying they should change a group of players, but you need to do something, and you need to change something. So, and as a manager, we accept if it's not the players that change, it's normally the manager that changes. And I've been in that position myself, so that's fine. The club have made that decision. I know I'm on the touchline right now on Saturday. I'm going to lead from the front. The players are going to be prepared. They're going to be excited about the challenge, and they're going to know that they have my unwavering support when we fight the battle." Southampton are chasing an instant return to the Premier League, although they have lost 2 of their last 3 games to Bristol City and Hull. That leaves them third, just outside of final automatic promotion spot on goal difference behind Leeds United, who beat Leicester tonight, may I add. Harris will lock horns with all of the division's top 3 between now and the end of the campaign, starting tomorrow with the Saints. He said, "Oh, they're a really good side. They got some top players. They have. There are a lot of good sides in this league, and as we'll see with Leeds and Leicester on Friday night, we've got both of them coming up as well. So we've got some tough games in front of us. The best championship sides have a good setup and really good individual players that can hurt you at any given moment. A good time to play them, quite possibly. They are having their worst run of the season. They haven't lost 2 of the last 3. I can't really worry about what Southampton do and where they are at. I've got enough things to focus on at the moment in my own group, picking a team, a subs bench, and who's going to be involved with that on Saturday. What I know is that we will be ready for the challenge come 3 o'clock Saturday. The group will be prepared, ready, and reinvigorated. And there are no promises that this is going to be enough to get us a result. But one thing is, we won't fall short of his desire." So there you go. Desire. Now moving on to what the next 4 stories will be from the South London Press, londonnewsonline.co.uk, because obviously they publish on a Friday and they love an interview on a Friday. They love it. Neil Harris relaxed over length of Millwall contract to focus on the immediate challenge. Neil Harris has described the length of his Millwall contract as irrelevant. The the 46-year-old returned to the Lions as head coach on Wednesday. Harris's 18-month deal mirrors the amount of time he had remaining on his Cambridge United terms. He joined the League One club in December, 2 months after leaving Gillingham. The Lions legend, who led the South London club to the Championship when he won the League One playoffs in 2017, succeeds Joe Edwards, dismissed this week. "It was a joint decision between me and the football club," said Harris, when asked about his Millwall contract. "Look, I took over the first time around 9 years ago next month. I've done this quite a long time, approaching like 500 games. I've learned a lot over that period of time. I want to enjoy it. I don't want to be tied up for a long time. We can stop contracts, we can extend contracts. And it just seems a sensible period of time. The club just didn't want me in for 3 months, and I didn't want to come here just for 3 months. I wanted to look past the summer. I just want to see where we're at next year. We all do. The football club needs support and stability today, and I can provide enough of that. And when we get to the summer transfer window, let's see where we're at, and let's see where we are again next time. Next Christmas time, discussions will be had after that. At this moment, the length of the contract is a little bit irrelevant to me because all I'm focusing on is Saturday." Harris has never hidden his affection or connection to Millwall. He made his name playing for the Lions and is their all-time record goal scorer. Asked if he wanted to stay beyond the 18 months, Harris said, "I don't know. Football changes so fast, doesn't it? I love working here. I did 12 years as a player, 18 months as a coach, and 4.5 years as a manager. And out of those 52 months, 50 of them were absolutely brilliant. Priceless. The last month or so I was tired, fatigued, and needed a change. And the club needed a change. No long-term thought process. It's purely me here in a moment, helping a football club enjoy myself. And I'm working in an environment and culture with people I really like working with, and a football ground that I adore. And it's been so good to me over the years." Harris chose to resign after a 1-1 draw at Luton Town in October 2019. Asked what needed to be different this time to avoid that, Harris responded, "That was 4.5 years ago into my tenure. That was just natural cause there. I was in my first job, in 4.5 years in your first job. It's one hell of a going. I just needed something different. I felt the football club needed something different as well. That was my opinion, not necessarily the football club's opinion at the time. It was a strong decision to walk away from a contract. I thought it was in their best interests. The club thought it was in their best interest for me to come back now, and I'm in a good place. I feel like I'm ready to attack the challenge again, or being here. I've been to a couple of games. I watched a couple of games. It seems that connection needs to be had again between the terrace and the pitch, and I always managed to do that as a player and as a leader in the dressing room, and I managed to do it as a manager. It is a challenge to do it, and I'm ready for that. So there you go. Now, moving on to this. Here we go again. As I said, londonnewsonline.co.uk. Millwall DNA is in my blood. Neil Harris on being a different coach after making Den return this week. Neil Harris's unbreakable bond with Millwall meant that he was never going to turn down the chance of return to the Den, even if their championship status is perilous. The Lions' all-time record goal scorer, 46, was appointed. He's only 46. Was appointed as head coach on Wednesday after Joe Edwards sacked after just 19 matches at the helm. Harris won promotion as Millwall manager from League One in 2017, and they went close to reaching the Championship playoffs the following season after a 17-game unbeaten run. Well, we could do with one of them now, can't we? Well, we've only got 13, but a 13-game unbeaten run, that would be absolutely peachy. Might make the playoffs. Shh, don't say that. The former striker also brought in some of the best value for money signings in the club's recent history during his tenure, with the likes of Jake Cooper, Sean Hutchinson, Ryan Leonard, Tom Bradshaw, George Saville, Bart Biafkowski, all still on the playing staff. Yeah, a lot of people like moaning about it. Like, oh, look at these players still here from they deserve to be here because they've been playing well for so long. Now they're getting at the end of their time. But how many other players have been and gone who did absolutely fuck all for this club? And people are moaning that the ones are still here after 6-7 years. Bruh, they're here because everyone else is fucking dog shit and has left. Oh, Millwall DNA is in my blood, Harris told the South London Press. I've been employed by this football club for 17 years. I see my job when I recruit the players to recognise if they have the attributes to play for the football club. Will fans want to see those players on the pitch? You can't get every one of those right, but my job is to get the majority right. I just don't need to coach them how I want them to play. It's what's expected from a Millwall player, to be loved by the fan base and have longevity. When I walked in on Thursday, I saw 6, 7 or 8 players I gave debuts to, maybe more than that, which is a real positive. I'm the same person who left 5 years ago, but I'm a different manager or a head coach. I've learned a lot tactically and technically. The players that I signed and gave debuts to, that will be different players as well, and I understand that, and I have to appreciate their attributes. But what they can do also, and moulding that into a team, I also look forward to working with the players that have been signed since I left and helping them become better players. Harris starts life back in the Millwall dugout out of Southampton tomorrow. But rectifying their poor home form, they have 6 matches left in SC16, will be imperative to staying clear of the bottom 3. Well, the den is everything pivotal to Millwall Football Club, said Harris. It's always been and always will be, whether that's the new den or the old den. It's a ferocious place to play and an intimidating environment when the home team are on it and the fans and the players are connected. It's my job to bring them together again, as I had in 4.5 seasons as a manager. And we need that. The players need the support, but we also have to appreciate it's down to me and the team to give them something to cheer about. I know the fan base is going to be excited. I'm not making any promises about what we will achieve over the next 2 months or the next 15 months, but it's about building and needing to build quickly. It's about me reproducing the Millwall identity because that's what the fan base wants to see. I know what it is, and I've just got to get that message to the players quickly. I want the fans to come and enjoy it again, to look forward to watching their team and meeting their mates before they come to the game. I want them to bring their families and have a connection to individual players and to enjoy and be excited by watching them. When we're in a tough games and have our backs against the wall, it's the fans that get the team through it and encourage us to grind out a result. Joe Edwards' boss records are: Joe Edwards, the former Chelsea and Everton coach, has won 4 of his opening 90 matches in all competitions with 11 defeats, a win percentage of 21%. Gary Out amassed 196 games in charge and was the Championship's second longest serving boss when he stepped down in October. His win percentage was 38.8. Neil Harris, first to win promotion as a player and boss of the Lions, and had 245 games at the helm. Discounting his 3 previous as caretaker, collected 102 victories and left with a win percentage of 41.6%. But as I said before, a lot of that was in League One. But even when you take that out, he's still got a very good record of 1.58 points per match in the Championship with us and with Cardiff. Which, if he can get anywhere near that in the 13 games we've got left, it's going to keep us up. Ian Holloway was 22.6% from his matches. Kenny Jackett was 42.3%, and Steve Lomas was 25%. So there you go. There you go. A bit of an interview and a bit of a stat wankery at the end. Zion Flemming, here we go. We've got this interview, and then we've got George Saville interview, and then we're going to skip to we're going to move on to the previewing the game at Southampton tomorrow. So if you want to skip the interviews, it'll probably take about another 10 minutes. Zion Flemming has saved the football club from the drop before, but Millwall attacker doesn't want final day drama again. Zion Flemming has played the role of saviour in a relegation battle before, but he does not want to be put in that position again on May the 4th be with you. Millwall have 13 matches remain to secure Championship safety, and their precarious position just above the bottom 3 triggered a head coach change on Wednesday as Neil Harris replaced Joe Edwards. Flemming's 12th goal of the season earned Fortuna Sittard a 1-0 win at NC in May 22 to stave off the drop on the final day of the Eredivisie season. And he also produced a goal line clearance in stoppage time to ensure his final match before a £1.7 million move to Millwall ended in positive style. Flemming is determined that the stakes are not so high when the South Londoners head to Swansea City for the culmination of the 23-24 campaign. Our main target now is just to stay up, Flemming told the South London Press, speaking before the departure of Edwards. So this is what, Tuesday, Monday? If you are where we are in the league now, then you are in a relegation battle. That doesn't mean it's going to take all 13 games to stay up. It could do, but we still have the faith that we can get things turned around and sorted a lot earlier than that, because we're better than where we are at the moment. What happened at Fortuna was incredible. We had a whole season of being in and around the relegation battle, especially the last 5 or 6 months were really tough. We were struggling every day, every week. That goal and clearance off the line to make us safe made it all worth it. It was a big day, but right now I don't want it again. Our focus right now is not when we are safe, but about getting safe. We got a good group and a quality in the squad to get that done. But sometimes football is complex. It's not as easy as just going, oh, you've got the quality, you should win. If you look at our story throughout this season, including the previous season, then you can see last year that things maybe fell our way and we nicked 1-0 wins at home and on the road. And these things have been going against us a little bit and it's taken us into a negative spiral. Unfortunately, the last few games has turned our performances down. Before that, it was not our performance that was miles off, it was just the results that didn't come. Millwall 45 minutes away from sealing a top 6 finish in the final fixture of last season, but a 3-1 lead over Blackburn ended in a 4-3 reverse that led to scenes of devastation at the Den. There's plenty at stake again, but with the reward very different. I've still got so much confidence that we will turn it around and that success could be around the corner, said Flemming, the subject of multiple bids from Burnley in a close season. I think we might look back at this period and do you remember how stressful that was? But deep down, everyone knows that we will get this done, and that's the feeling I get from the club. I don't mean that in a way that everything is going to be alright, because it doesn't come out of nothing. We have to work really, really hard to turn it around. But we've got the good quality players and the good personalities, and everyone is in there to work their asses off, and we have to be a team out there. The guys up front and also speaking to the ones at the back. How does it feel for you? What do you expect from us? What can we do differently to help? And this is what we expect from you. It's about grinding out every day. There are going to be setbacks. We're not going to win all 13 games, unfortunately. I hope we do, but being realistic, that's not going to happen. There might be a bad performance. There might be a loss or poor performance at home again. With the Den not being happy with us, it could all happen. But that doesn't mean we're not still going to do it. So interesting, like I said, they said this was interview was given before Joe Edwards left on Wednesday. But interestingly, so the guys up front are speaking to the ones at the back, saying, "How can we help you?" So it looks like he's blaming the defense there, finger pointing like, "Bruh, like how many goals have you fucking scored? Like how many shots do you need to take to score 1 goal? Like, bruh, if you score 2, it doesn't matter if we fucking have a mistake at the back where we concede 1. So like, bruh, what can you do differently to help? Score some fucking goals, my friend, or fucking set some goals up." I mean, it's not rocket science, is it? Jesus, bloody hell, what's going on there? So here we go. So George Saville interview. Stay at home if you don't think we can get a positive result at Southampton. Millwall midfielder George Saville's message to the team. So I think this was put on Twitter earlier today, but it was clipped, and a lot of people just read the headline and thought, he's talking about the fans. He's telling the fans to fuck off, stay at home, don't bother fucking coming if you're just gonna moan. No, he was actually talking about the team. So George Saville has a message for anybody in the Millwall squad who doesn't think they can get a positive result at Southampton. Stay at home. The Lions start life back under Neil Harris with a trip to the South Coast tomorrow to take on one of the Championship leading promotion contenders. Russell Martin's Saints side will be smarted from a 2-1 loss to Hull on Tuesday, their first home defeat since September 2019. Southampton set a new club record of 25 matches unbeaten in all competitions before Bristol City's 3-1 win at Ashton Gate earlier this month. Yes, they were on an amazing run that ended. It ended. And that's what happens with amazing runs. And it also happens with shit runs, like Millwall's shit run of not winning a game in, what is it now, 8 or 9 games? That run needs to end, and it's gonna. If it doesn't end tomorrow, it will end next week. Southampton, Leicester and Leeds are the standout teams this year. They're up there for a reason, said Saville, speaking to the South London Press before the appointment of Harris. But we went to Leicester and we were 1 up after the first 45 minutes. Okay, that's only 1 half, but we nullified them to not very much. My message to the players this week will be, if you don't think we're going to get anything from the game, then you might as well stay at home. The attitude's got to be that we can go there and get something out of the game. Anything more than a point would be great. Millwall lost the reverse fixture 1-0, but Red Harding's header came back off the crossbar before substitute Ryan Fraser struck in the 3rd minute of second half stoppage time. We competed well with his top sides, said Saville 30. We drew 0-0 at West Brom, and for an hour at Coventry we were the better side. Hull was poor, but again we nullified them to not very much. And we've competed with sides that are at the top of the table this year, and it'll be no different on Saturday. The Northern Ireland internationals made 179 appearances for Millwall across 4 spells. We're obviously in a difficult situation, said Saville. One that maybe none of us were expecting, especially after the Christmas period we had. But we are where we are, and we need to pull together to get out of it. There's no one else that can do that apart from ourselves. Well, hold your beer. There's a man who's on his way, and his name is Neil Harris. Everyone can have their own opinion, but the league table doesn't lie. We're down there for a reason. We've got 13 games left. There are probably 7 or 8 teams down there, and it's about us making sure we're not the worst 3 out of them. Millwall won 3 championship games in a row over Christmas and kept 4 successive clean sheets, Saville said. We were settled, and before that we drew with Huddersfield, and I conceded the shit penalty with a handball, and then Lenny did the same in the Sunderland game. Results started to turn for us, and we were in a good place. I was suspended at the start of the year for 3 games, and we had injuries with Lenny and Hutch. We came in for a couple of matches, and then it was back out. There have been a lot of factors that have gone against us, but it's not an excuse. But if we've had suspensions, injuries, and lack of form, it hasn't helped our cause. Asked how much ownership the players need to take with their current predicament, Saville said, I haven't started as many games as I like due to my suspension, but whether I played all or none of them, I'm the type of player who's happy to take full responsibility. It's not just one person, it's collectively all of us. We've been poor across the board. The manager's going to take the shit because that's the easy one to go, but we as the players need to improve. If you asked who was doing well, and I don't think you could point fingers at many, so I don't. That looks like the end of the interview because then they double it up and go into the next 4 games they're talking about. I don't know what they're doing about that. I don't know. Okay, so there you go. So like I said, interesting. The Zion Flemming interview and the George Saville interview were taken before Harris was appointed manager. So he's talking about very interesting what they're saying there. So Saville's being very blunt towards the players, and one of the factors that he's giving for the poor play is that 2 of the senior players, who I think we all can agree are probably 2 of our better players, Hutch and Leonard, and he's thrown himself in there, saying like when he got suspended, then that they haven't been available, and that's been a big factor. So there you go. So now we are finally moving on to previewing the game tomorrow. But before we get to that, like I said, the police seem to have gone a bit nuts. What is it? It's February, so I guess the new budgets are coming out in April, I guess, the financial year. So it seems like they need to get some more money. So I was in the chat on the Millwall podcast for today. That Millwall podcast, their live stream, and Mickey Simpson on there. Did you know he used to be found on the board? Yeah, that one. Yeah. So he told us that every time the police get a football banning order, they get paid for that, like as a little reward. Like, here you go, here's a few £1,000s or whatever he said it was. So the police seem to be coming up to budget time. Maybe they know what their budget's going to be in next year, and they're thinking, oh shit, we need to earn some money. How can we earn some money? Go down to the local highway and point a speed gun at some cars and get some money, or go to a football ground, stir up shit, piss people off by parking cars and horses in the way of everyone, channeling 2 sets of vans towards each other to create ensuing chaos, video it all, and then in the middle of the night go and bust in people's doors and nick them and give them football banning orders so they can get paid. Because bizarrely, for some reason, I told you about the story that was on the Mail Online about the warning about Chelsea, the FA Youth Cup game. Well, we've now got this. They've put in a Section 60 dispersal order, which is the kind of thing they do in London, the Met Police do, when one young architect decides to stab another one. And they are worried about reprisal attacks. So they've enacted what they do, because they can't stop and search. that's because everyone's moaning like, oh, you're stopping searching a certain type of people, the ones that are stabbing everyone. So they can only, once there's an incident, they can set in this area. If you're in there, we can stop and search you. We can tell you to fuck off, and if you don't, we'll arrest you. And all of this, they've got extra powers, but only once there's an incident, and then they can enact that legislation. So they seem to be enacting that in advance. There hasn't been any incidents against for this game tomorrow, the Southampton Millwall game. So this is from the Daily Echo, Southern Daily Echo, which is the local paper for Southampton and beyond. Police officers will have extra powers to stop fighting breaking out at the Saints match against Millwall tomorrow. Officers have been working with Southampton FC, British Transport Police and the Met Police to ensure fans are able to enjoy the match safely and to stop fans looking to stir up trouble. So which side's that then? Because they don't mention Millwall there, so are they worried about their own fans? Because there does seem to be, after the COVID lockdown nonsense, the kind of spirit of the off-field activity has increased around the country, which bizarrely at Millwall it's kind of gone the other way. I haven't seen much of that stuff, to be honest. Quite the opposite. We've got happy clappy day tripping fans turning up at the ground and all of that stuff. But across the world, like in the Netherlands, it's awful. Having games abandoned. Was it Feyenoord game got abandoned? Proper bad stuff going on. And including across this country, like in non-league games as well. So maybe it's the Southampton fans are being a bit naughty. I don't know, but they don't mention Millwall there. So unless Millwall asked to have their name left out of it, so that the fans wouldn't turn on them and Kavanagh, because he's getting enough stick at the moment, isn't he? But I'm sure they'll be working with them as well. Saints are playing Millwall at home and the kickoff is at 3 p.m. Police on the ground have been authorised to use dispersal powers. This would give officers the power to order someone who's likely to cause harassment, alarm or be involved in crime and disorder to leave the area and not return within a specified time period. These are given under Section 34 of the Anti-Social Behaviour, Crime and Policing Act and would apply between 9 a.m. and 11 p.m. on Saturday. So it looks like what's going to happen, or maybe this is because obviously it's South Coast, Southampton, a lot of fans going down there and think, well, I'll go down there for the match and then I'll have a night out in Southampton. Well, no, you can fuck off. Because if you turn up to the pub with you and your mates, they'll say, hey, you need to leave. And you go, why do I need to leave? What have I done? Well, it doesn't matter what you've done. We think you're going to do something. And we have the power under the Section 34 of the Anti-Social Behaviour, Crime and Policing Act to tell you to go forth and multiply. And you will have to do it or you will be arrested and likely given a football banning order. So there you go. Like I said, those who refuse to comply with the orders would be committing a criminal offence and will be liable for arrest. Police will also have the powers to order those causing disruption to reveal their identity should they be wearing anything which wouldn't identify them, like balaclavas or burqas. This would help to tackle those police believe are out to commit antisocial behaviour or crime. These are powers under Section 60AA of the Criminal Justice and Public Order Act 1994, which according to the police are not commonly used in the county. The powers apply to a specific area which covers the city centre, St Mary's and the Polygon. So yeah, it looks like they've got wind that a lot of Millwall fans want to enjoy life, want to go out for a night out in Southampton after the game, and they've said, the fuck you are, you get on a train and get the fuck out of town. So you might probably go to Bournemouth or somewhere else, or if there is a place above in the north, because this is a section, so Jury's in Southampton, they have a nice bar there, because you're not going anywhere in this thing, because if you do, they can move you along. So if you want to play with them, find a space that's just outside this area, and then bait them into telling you to do what they want you to do, like tell you to piss off, and just record it all, and then you can get them in trouble afterwards, to maybe get a bit compensation. But Superintendent Mark Lewis, match commander, said, "This is an exciting event for football fans, particularly those who will be attending St Mary's Stadium to watch the game.
We're grateful to the majority of spectators who wish to enjoy the game, behave responsibly, and are respectful to one another. Regrettably, we do know that a small minority of fans do choose to behave in a way that falls far below the standards we expect. We have robust plans in place in partnership with the football club to make this a safe event for all and to disrupt any individuals involved in poor behaviour that risks the safety of themselves and others. You will likely see our officers out and about as they engage with fans and, where necessary and proportionate, use the powers authorised to deal with any antisocial behaviour or criminality. Section 60AA powers are not commonly used in Hampshire, and any decisions made by police officers to take action under this legislation will be solely target those who we believe are deliberately using an item of clothing such as a face covering to conceal their identity so they can engage in criminal or antisocial behaviour. People, please don't be alarmed by the presence of police. They are there to reassure you and keep you safe. If you have any concerns, don't hesitate to speak to any of our officers on the day. Thank you to the community for their support and assistance, and we hope you enjoy the game. So yeah, I don't know. It does sound it might be coming from the Southampton end. They did play Bristol City recently, which is they're kind of close enough, aren't they? Don't know, but yeah, that's going to be happening tomorrow. Now, moving on to this, the football. We're finally there. The football game tomorrow. Remember that? This is from 11v11.com. It's the historical record between Southampton and Millwall, and it's all over the place because it's alphabetical, and they've got Millwall Athletic and they've got Southampton St Mary's. So it does go a bit skew with. So this is our record out of Southampton. You can see it's abysmal in the Southern League, absolutely abysmal. Doesn't get very better in the 1940s and 50s. But then in the 1970s, something clicks and it changes, and we went on a nice little run of 3, 6, 7 games unbeaten, and then if you add it all up, so this was the last game that we played them at. So we haven't played them in the league, and we haven't played them at all since 2012 because they've been in the Premier League. We were in League One as well. So that was the FA Cup game. That was a 3-2 win. But all in all, for going back from 2012 all the way back to 1977, we've only lost at their place twice, which I'm struggling to comprehend because I have this feeling that we always lose to Southampton, especially recently. Maybe is that at home? Oh my god, it's at home. So yeah, a little diversion if I may. So this is fucking atrocious. We haven't beat Southampton at home in any competition going back many, many years, going all the way back to 1977. We played them in 1985 in the League Cup, a 0-0 draw. 1-0 FA Cup defeat. In 1989 in the league, top league, 2 draws in a row. And then defeat after defeat, 2 draws in 2010 and 2012. 1 in League One and 1 in the FA Cup. And then more recently, 3 defeats in a row, 2012, 2014, 2023. Fucking hell. That's why, yeah, I always have this feeling that we always lose to Southampton. Well, we do at the Den, but at their ground, not really. There has been a couple over the last 4 games. It's not looking good. 2 defeats, 1 win, 1 draw. But if you add it all up going back to the 1970s, it's not that bad. So yeah, that's interesting. We always lose at home to them, but away seems to not be that bad. Now, let's move on to this. This is from whoscored.com, and it's the head-to-head record and other stuff. If I sort this out, I haven't sorted it out before I got on here. So home team versus away team. Southampton have won 2. There's been 2 draws, and we have won 1 of them. That's just 5 games. We have failed to score in 2 of them. We haven't kept a clean sheet. So 5 games there. We've scored 5 goals. They've scored 7, and 2 of these games have been cup games. Okay, match facts on the right hand side. Mill have lost 6 of their last 7 matches. Yeah, I know. We've got a new manager though now. Southampton won their last three. Well, new. He's an old manager, but he's come back. But new in terms of different than the one we currently had. Southampton won their last three matches against Millwall in all competitions, so that's home and away. Millwall have conceded at least 2 goals in the last 3 matches. Yeah, I know. Don't tell them. Yeah, I know. Here is the table, as you can see. Southampton, pretty good. Fourth in the league. 20 wins, 7 draws, 6 defeats. 64 goals scored. Holy shit, nearly 2 goals a game, average. And we're not even at a goal a game. Oh, and they've only conceded 40, so blimey, what the fuck? Yeah, pretty impressive, but look at their last 3 games. They've lost twice. So 6 defeats, 2 of them defeats have come in the last 3 games, in the last couple of weeks. But if I do the form table, fucking hell. They've won 4, lost 2, they're 6 in the form table. Because that's not bad. We haven't won once, we've drawn once, lost 5. Only scoring 2 goals in 6 games and conceding 12 goals in 6 games. Holy shit. So let's go back to the overall standings. Obviously, this is a home game for them. They are the 5th best team at home in the league. And this is an away game for us. We are the 17th now. 4 wins, 5 draws, 7 defeats. That's 17 goals a game. 17 goals away in 16 games. So we're scoring more than 1 goal a game just in away games. So that's something, isn't it? Let's go down here and sort this out by doing that. What the fuck just happened? I don't know what the fuck that was. See how shit this laptop is? I press that and it jumps on the fucking start button. What did I do? Did I leak it? I play Minecraft and I used to. During COVID, I started playing Minecraft because I was bored out of my fucking mind. And then I haven't touched it for fucking 4 years. So yeah, this is the last 6 home games for Southampton, the last 6 away games for Millwall. As you can see, it doesn't look good. We failed to score in 3 of our last 6 away games. We've kept 2 clean sheets in our last 6 away games. For Southampton, they've kept 3 clean sheets in the last. But 2 of them were in the FA Cup. Only 1 of them was in the league, and that was against Sheffield Wednesday, who are not very good, but they did manage to beat us. Their last game at home, they lost 2-1 to Hull, and before that, they conceded 3 goals against Huddersfield, but beat them 5-3. So it seems they're a bit of a cavalier side now, trying to outscore teams rather than keep it tight. I don't know. So here's your strengths and weaknesses. So you can see they've got a few weaknesses there. They do have a few very, very weak weaknesses. So it seems they're not very good at defending. They're not very good at aerial duels, which probably means they lose. If we can pick up those second balls, they're not very good at defending counter-attacks. If we can get a Damo Mako on the pitch, that might be good. And they're not very good at stopping opponents from creating chances. So we need as many chances as we can get, and because we're not very clinical in front of goal. So there you go. There's the match forecast of what will happen in that game. So let's move on and go to this from whoscored.com. It's their prediction. So let's scroll down and have a look. Got a few injured players, they do. We do as well, but so prediction time. A late goal from substitute Joe Ariba wasn't enough to rescue any points for Southampton on Tuesday night, as 2 early goals condemned York promotion hopefuls to defeat against Hull.
The Saints have slipped to 4th in the standings after losing 2 of their last 3 league games, but face a more lenient test here. Millwall forced to pull the trigger this week after losing 2-0 at home against fellow strugglers Sheffield Wednesday, sacking manager Joe Edwards off the back of 4 straight league defeats. The Lions have reappointed former boss Neil Harris, who has already managed Gillingham and Cambridge this season. Yeah, he's managed in 3 divisions in the same season. League 2, League 1 and Championship, so boom, have that. But they predict Southampton 3, Millwall 0. Okay. But what does David Pratton of SkySports.com say? Well, let's have a little look. How far down do we got to go? There's the whole game. That's on Sky, obviously, and it's on lunchtime. There's the game that's on the Ipswich game. QPR. Bit of news for QPR. I don't know if he's in jail now, if he's appealed or what, but I don't know if he's going to be playing tomorrow. But QPR's arguably their best player. Some may disagree with that. He's probably their best attacking player. Ilias Chair has been sentenced to a year in jail for smashing someone's skull in, a truck driver's skull in, with a rock. So there you go. If he's in jail for a year, is this the Harris magic working already? Maybe. We've got the FA Youth Cup win. We got QPR's best player being jailed for a year. Things do seem to be looking up. So here we go. Southampton Millwall. How quickly things can change in the Championship. 2 defeats in the space of a week have left Southampton looking up at Leeds United again in second. All the positivity of that record unbeaten run swept away. Millwall have pressed the panic button in sacking Joe Edwards and bringing back Neil Harris. They were falling like a stone down the table and are at real risk of relegation, so you can understand why. But I think Southampton bounce back here. Prediction: Southampton 3, Millwall 1. Okay, so they reckon we're going to concede 3 goals. Fair enough. That's they're assuming that we're still the same old Millwall under Joe Edwards. I don't think we are. I think there's going to be quite a change, quite a difference. I think we're going to win this game. I think we're going to win this game. I think we're going to win this game 2-1, which we haven't done for a while, have we? All of our wins have been with clean sheets. He just gets it done, doesn't he? He just gets it done. And we need like 4 or 5 wins, even if we don't. If it's it's even going to be 2. I don't think we're going to get spanked. I don't think we are. I think it's either going to be 1-1 or we win 2-1. Yeah, I'm utterly confident. That this is the right move. To appoint Neil Harris and that he's going to get results. He could be starting now, but who knows? So, but yeah, I'm going to go for 2-1 Millwall win. And on that note, thank you for watching, and goodbye.